All right. Welcome, everyone. We will call this Piqua City Schools Board of Education meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Hiddle.
Mr. Mitchell.
Here.
Mrs. McMacken. Here. Mrs. Mars.
Here.
Mr. Frazier.
Here.
Mr. Ford.
Here. All right, everyone received the minutes from our May 14th meeting in advance and had time to look at those. If there's any questions, you can ask those now. If not, I will take a motion to approve the minutes.
I make it a motion.
All right, JoJo, do we have a second?
Second.
And Steve. All right, all those in favor of approving the minutes from the May 14th meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes. They are approved. And now we're looking for a motion for the approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting. Yes.
I just add that there is one addition that was under the new business, and that's approving the purchase service agreement with the Powering to Elevate. They got the lawyer finished the contract up today, so I wanted to make sure that we got that in place. So.
All right. So we'll take an approval with the addendum of adding the new business.
So moved.
Steve?
Second.
And Sean. All right, all those in favor of approval of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right. We have nothing on here in the public non-agenda or on agenda items. So we're going to move right to the treasurer's agenda.
Sorry, I'm having a problem here.
Spectrum problem.
Can't say it's Eric's fault yet. All right, there we go. All right, were there any questions on the May financial reports that you had received? I will say that we are landing exactly where I thought we would as we're approaching the end of the fiscal year. I just ran some numbers, and we're within 1% of what we had within the 5-year forecast for the year. So we're exactly where I thought was going to happen. And so things are going well there. The next item that's on here is the property liability and cyber insurance for 2025. There was a 17.2% increase in our insurance rates, and we've had 2 bad years in a row of claims. From my first years here, we had 0 claims to we've hit it out of the ballpark lately with the flood in the PCIS building and the junior high building, to the lightning strike at the stadium that took some stuff out. We've been on a roll, and then we just had a recent and the tennis court failure is on the list, and then recently glycol ended up all over the weight room and into Bill Neese's room, as well as some coaches' offices that are down below the weight room. So we had that problem this week. So we've been doing lots of fun stuff. So that may or may not be an insurance claim. We'll see once we get the bill in if I'm going to turn it in or just pay for it, because obviously it just keeps raising our rates, and they never go back down once you do that. So we'll see what ends up happening. So I'm asking to approve that tonight, and the total cost ended up going from $93,303 to $111,930 for the entire package. No, that was just for the package stuff. Then there's the auto, and then the pollution. In total, it went from $116,085 to $136,070. So a $19,985 increase annually for that. Cyber coverage was 13,468, and we're going to go with the 15,500 number, so it also went up about $1,500 for that. Are there any questions? The next item on there is normal annual thing to give me the authority to adjust everything to close the books, which tomorrow is the last day of business. So when we get in here on Monday morning, we'll start the process of closing the fiscal year. The next item is to do temporary appropriations in half the amount that we appropriated for FY24 for FY25. The next item is to allow me to continue to invest the district's money. Next item is to reestablish the board service fund for $30,000 as we do annually to support things that the board needs and wants to do for PD for themselves. Recommend board approval of the mileage plan that's attached to here. This is something that we started doing in lieu of everyone turning in mileage forms for the people who were constantly doing that. The IRS said it was better to put it on as a taxable item for our employees versus doing reimbursements, so we changed that. That sort of happened around COVID time where all that came about. And then there's a list of fund-to-fund transfers in there. Most of these transfers are things that were started with a grant and now have become more permanent fixtures, like the junior high night out, the run club at PCIS, the garden tribe. Those things have all been around for a while now, so we're switching them over from being grant funded to just a more permanent account code for that. So the other thing that's in here is to not to exceed $6 million transfer to the Permanent Improvement Fund for future projects, construction projects, as well as $500,000 for the severance fund that we talked about when we established the 035 account. So we'll do those transfers as well as we close the fiscal year. And then the attached salary schedules from the Miami County ESC. So this is something that we do. We just take our salary schedule that we have here, we deduct what we pay the ESC for their administrative fees, so that we're not paying more for the people that we would hire through the ESC, and so that we have that available to us if we need to hire an employee through the ESC for some reason throughout the school year. So just another formality that we go through. And then another thing that we do is recommend the board approval of the treasurer and superintendent to enter into the agreements with Miami County ESC throughout the 24-25 school year as those things come in. And then we added a line in our salary schedules for classified aide, our paraprofessional with degree, because we're going to need them in our new unit at the high school. So this is to help pay them a little bit more, considering the risk that they're taking on by working in that. Are there any questions? I know that's a lot tonight, but it's the end of the fiscal year for me, so lots of fun stuff.
Any questions for Jeremy? Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
That is a lot.
You
All right.
just pawns it off.
I will take a motion to approve the treasurer's agenda.
I make the motion.
Treasurer, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Jeremy, please call roll.
Mrs. McMacken. Mrs. Mars.
Aye.
Mr. Mitchell.
Aye.
Mr. Frazier.
Aye.
Mr. Ford.
Aye. All right. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Now we're going to move to Dwayne with the superintendent's report.
Thank you. We're going to start by welcoming Joe Wilson and some other guests. We'll let him go up to a microphone right over here and talk a little bit about the Neighbors Helping Neighbors program that he and some students just engaged in. So, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, I'm Joe Wilson with Neighbors Helping Neighbors. We're a local group of volunteers who help people in need to either do painting work on their house, exterior painting, or yard work within their house. The people who receive our help have to live in the house, own the house, live in Piqua, and have a financial need that they can't do the work themselves or pay for it. This is our 4th year of doing work, and we do about 4 houses a year. We spend about at least $2,000 every year for the supplies. We have some things we have to pay for, but all the labor is free of charge. And we get donations from various foundations, citizens, and businesses to help keep us rolling with that. Want to give you an idea before we get into the true stars here. For this year in particular, we're doing 4 houses. I want to tell you a little bit about each of the people we're helping this year to give you an idea who they are without naming names, obviously. But first house we did in May was a flower, mulch, weed, paint, and fence painting project. The lady was, I'll give her her age, but not her name. She was 89, and she's raising one of her children who has disabilities. She still drives, and she had more energy than we did, actually. But so we helped her, the first house. Second house was a house on Summit, which the students helped us with. That lady is suffering from macular degeneration, and she really needs the help. The third house is a guy going blind. So we're going to help him out hopefully next month. And then the fourth house will be a house written up by the city, and there's a Gone with the Wind book of violations. We're going to tackle some of those. So that's kind of a rough history of what we've done and what we're doing this year. So our second house we contacted, but we went through your wife, and she kind of went and made the contacts to get the kids lined up to help us out. So a few weeks ago, we all showed up. I immediately told them, well, first of all, I was told by several people, well, these kids won't do very well. They'll probably be on their phone. They'll leave after 20 minutes. You won't get anything done. So that's what people were telling me. So they showed up, and of course I told them to put the phones down, which was very difficult. But they did a really good job, and they worked without complaining. We worked about, I think, 4 hours roughly, no breaks, anything, and they did a really good job. We had to scrape, prime, and paint. So they were primarily doing the harder work, which was the scraping and the priming. You know, at the end, you do the finished job and you get all the glory. But they didn't get a whole lot of that because they were doing the harder work. But they did a really good job. And we had 2 teachers with us. And I know when I went to school, I didn't have that kind of connection with the teachers that these 2 had. So that was really nice to see. I think that's probably about it. But I want them to come up, and you want to talk a little bit about anything?
No, thank you.
Okay. But anyway, it was really fun, and we're hoping, I put it in their ear that maybe we can make this a yearly event.
That's great. Thanks for
And-
involving them. That's
It
great.
was, we love having the help, and I think we also can teach people like on boards to how to paint. If you know anyone who might be on a board that might be willing to paint with us or yard work, let us know. We'd be happy to show you how to paint if you don't know how. Or we could have them teach us. They were really good. So.
Any students? Would any students like to say anything about the experience?
At least say your names.
Let us know who you are.
I'd like to know who you are.
Hi, I'm Payne Wilson.
I'm sorry, can you come to the microphone though, because the people at home won't be able to hear you.
Yeah.
And maybe just mention if you're in junior high or high school.
My name's Payne Wilson. I'm in junior high. I'm going into 8th grade.
My name's Layla Roberts. I'll be a freshman. I'm Miss DeBella or Emily DeBella, and I'm the Junior Honor Society advisor. We also had Brennan Engel, Abigail Palmer, and Ella Worley that helped us, but they were unable to come tonight.
I'm Tiara Johnson, also known as TJ Johnson, and I'm going to be a senior.
I'm Ashley Buer, the High School National Honor Society advisor. So along with TJ, we had Addie Leisure, Adeline Rich, Abigail Kirk, and Aga Polakowski. So they weren't able to be here tonight either. I was so proud of all the hard work that all of the students did. They were amazing at how like willing they were to come out, and it was extremely hot that day. So we went through a lot of bottles of water, but they were just phenomenal workers.
I did forget one other thing. There's a show on Channel 5, What's Happening in Piqua. I don't know if you have seen that before, but it's on this week. They're doing a little coverage of their work with their pictures that Emily took of the kids. So all of you will be on TV ready to give autographs as you get famous. But you might want to take a look at that. We cover a little bit. Well, I didn't cover it, but they covered the program, but mostly highlighted the kids and the teachers and the work they did. And it's up on 423 Summit Drive if you want to see their work. There was only one bad thing that happened out of this whole thing. We were really worried that you guys were going to see the work and ask us to paint the high school. we don't really want to do that, so please don't ask. But everything else went really well. So. And
Thanks,
thanks
Derek.
Thanks for bringing us here
Proud of
and
you all.
highlighting
Proud.
the students.
Real quick, on behalf of the Board of Education and on behalf of Piqua City Schools, we want to present you guys with some recognition certificates. And then Joe, we got you a card and a pen. Thank you for including the students, and thank you guys for all the work that you do.
Great, thanks.
Isabel, I will give this to you if you want to hand those out. Thank you guys for everything that you guys do. We appreciate all the hard work. Thank you so
And
much.
maybe we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great.
Jeremy's signing up for it already.
Teachers,
Other duties
if we
is
left
assigned.
anybody
Got
out
it.
by accident, just send me the names and I'll make sure we get a certificate to you, okay? We went by what was submitted to us, so.
And you do not have to stay for the rest of the meeting. You are more than welcome to.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. You want to head over there for a seat so they can sit down in a chair? You're more than welcome to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
The other thing I wanted to mention was we had applied for the Community Eligibility Provision Grant, which funds school lunches and breakfasts for students 100% K through 12, no matter what the student, what their background is, what their economic status is, and we received that this year. So for the next school year only, we will receive free breakfast and free lunches for all students. If they want to buy something above what is provided for the breakfast or lunch, they would have to pay for that. But otherwise, it'll be free. They don't have to fill out any forms. We will apply for it as it goes on, so it could continue potentially, but for now, it would be firm for just next year. So we're excited about having that opportunity for the students. That did happen during COVID time period, and the government pulled those funds back, but these grants came about. So I appreciate Jeremy as well as Jennifer Garland, our food service director, for working through and applying for that. So
That's
the students will
nice.
get that. It's really
Yes.
nice. It's really nice. The students and parents don't have to worry about that funding source. So
A lot of kids will eat at home and then get to school and have a second breakfast as well. But it's also just great for people to have a breakfast and a lunch. So
it is. Our breakfast numbers went through the roof when that happened. When during COVID, when they provided those funds, a lot of kids came to school for breakfast. So we know it really did have an impact.
that's awesome.
Yeah. That's it on my report.
All right, we're going to jump right into the superintendent's agenda.
Okay, just want to recommend board approval of the attached list of donations. There are a number of donations this time, so we received several for the golf outing that happens each year. You can see those there. The Wise Cup Honor Garden, we had that dedication the day after graduation, went really well. If people haven't seen that, it's right in front of the high school near the sports entrance. So a number of people donated to that, and another shout out to Tom Hudson for really coordinating that and taking on that role. National Honor Society received some donations from Wings and Rings. Dick Lumpkin Auto Body is always so supportive of our programs. He donated for the LED scores table in the gym. American Legion donated some funds, as well as the Piqua Community Foundation. So just a number of great people supporting the wonderful things that we have throughout the district. So we appreciate that. Recommend board approval of the attached list of library books from PCIS, Piqua Junior High School, Spring Creek, and Washington for the disposal and removal of the inventory of Piqua City School District. So again, they continue to go through and weed out books that are no longer checked out or outdated, worn out, maybe pages are torn, etc. Recommend board approval of the attached list of technology equipment for disposal and removal for the inventory of Piqua City School District. We've mentioned this before, but Eric and his team go through and salvage all the parts that we can keep, and they reuse those and recycle those, and otherwise everything gets recycled. And they recommend board approval of the Piqua Junior High School 8th grade overnight field trip to Washington, D.C. That's a yearly trip that they do, so this will be for next school year. So
This is for the 25 school year.
correct, yeah. Getting that approved will allow them to start making those plans and moving forward with that. And that's it.
All right, any questions for Dwayne with the superintendent's agenda? All right, seeing none, I will take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Sean, motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
And JoJo. All right. All those in favor of approving the superintendent's agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, superintendent's agenda is approved.
Thank you.
Now, the next is the personnel agenda, which Tony sent out. Now, Tony's not here tonight.
Tony got called away for a family emergency, so
Okay.
the one I would just point out on here is the retirement from Teresa Anderson. Teresa's been with us for 32 years. She worked at Piqua Catholic, I believe, before that, so she's got a long, very successful career in the district. She was a principal, she was a teacher, she was our director of student services. She's done curriculum for some time. Just has a great work ethic, puts in long, long hours, still is worried about not getting all her work done before she walks out the door, and staying late, and she's just been very loyal to the district, and we're really going to miss her, really going to miss her a lot. So congratulations to her, though, and I hope she seeks out many good adventures. She deserves it.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Teresa.
I don't know if there's any other questions you have that I can try to answer, but that's one I really wanted to point out, so that's it.
I'm still in denial.
How are you?
Yeah.
I don't like change very well, so, you know.
It'll
It's
be
weird.
weird without her. It really will
Yeah.
be, yeah.
You're just mad because her chest of candy is leaving as well.
Well, there's that too. She is, if you need a chocolate fix, she has some.
All right. We will need to take a motion for approval of the personnel agenda.
So moved.
All right, with Steve. Do we have a second? All right, and Kelly with a second. Jeremy, we call roll?
Mr. Frazier.
Aye.
Mrs. Mars.
Aye.
Mr. Mitchell.
Aye.
Mrs. McMacken. Mr. Ford.
Aye. All right. Personnel agenda is approved. All right, there's no new business.
Nope.
And
There is new business.
Oh, that's right. There's the new
That's
business
right,
that we
yeah.
added on.
There's no old business.
There's no old business.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll skip old business and jump straight to new business.
So the only item on here tonight is approving the Empower to Elevate agreements to provide clinical and coaching services from June 1st, 2024 through May 31st of 2029. I should say July 1st, as a matter of fact. So I will fix that. So July 1st is the answer. What this is we have K through 6. Our students have been, we've moved away from our severe behavioral units and put them into more of a counseling-based curriculum and process. So this is the contracts for that process. I don't know if you want to add anything to it or not, but.
We've talked about it before.
Yep. Just a formality.
Any questions for Jeremy or Dwayne? All right, we will take a motion to approve the service agreements with Empowering to Elevate. We have Kelly. We have a second.
Second.
And Sean. All right. Jeremy, will you please call roll?
Mr. Mitchell.
Aye.
Mr. Frazier.
Aye.
Mrs. McMacken. Mrs. Mars.
Aye.
Mr. Ford.
Aye. All right, new business is approved. And now we are moving to hearing of the public non-agenda items. We have somebody, Michelle Lee, right, is here with us. You can step up to the mic. You have 5 minutes. And we appreciate it. And thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for everybody's time. Good evening. My name is Michelle Lee, and I'm speaking on behalf of Ashley Gilmore because she could not be present tonight. I do appreciate your time and your attention. I have here something she wanted me to read for her as her. I am a deaf individual who grew up in Piqua and received really good quality education from Piqua City Schools. I graduated in the top 10 of my class and went on to earn not 1 but 2 degrees in education, including a master's degree. When I learned about the opening of an ASL teacher position, I felt compelled to apply based on my experience and a desire to give back to the district. I was excited about the opportunity to work with the students and introduce them to my native language. While I recognize the limited availability of qualified deaf and hard of hearing teachers, I do have 3 years of teaching experience and I'm confident in my abilities as an educator. Although I do not currently hold an ASL supplement license, I'm willing to meet the necessary requirements to obtain this credential. My teaching approach, while focuses on signing exclusively to eliminate auditory distractions, has proven successful in helping students grasp ASL quickly and effectively. Despite my qualifications and experience, I was disappointed to learn that a hearing individual with minimal experience was chosen for the ASL teaching position over me. The explanation that was given were her responses during the interview, deemed superior to mine, despite our supposedly equal qualifications. I believe that the interview questions were designed in a way that may have affected my ability to fully showcase my strengths, as I was not aware of specific expectations during certain responses. During a feedback meeting, it was suggested that I am considered as a paraprofessional role in ASL classes to serve as a positive role model for students. However, I do find this suggestion to be slightly demeaning and contrary to my level of education and expertise in the field. I believe that individuals who are deaf and/or hard of hearing are often better equipped to teach ASL due to their native fluency and language, and the hiring decisions should reflect that perspective. I have expressed my concerns to the assistant superintendent, but it seems like there is a lack of understanding regarding the impact of overlooking a qualified deaf educator in favor of hearing individuals. I believe that this decision not only affects me personally, but also the integrity of the ASL teaching profession as a whole. I hope that the Board of Education will take this matter seriously to prevent any negative repercussions within the community and the perception of Piqua City Schools. To the new ASL teacher, I understand that you did not intend to cause harm, but it is important to recognize the implications of decisions that may undermine the qualified deaf educators in the field. I do wish you the best of luck in your new role. While I acknowledge the potential and strain the situation may place on my relationship with Piqua City Schools, I do feel compelled to advocate for fair hiring practices and representation of deaf individuals in education. I appreciate the opportunity to share my concerns, and thank you, Michelle, for bringing attention to my story. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michelle. All right. Moving on, right? Okay. All right, the next thing on the agenda is executive session for the purpose of appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of employee, negotiation of contract, student and/or school official as permitted under Ohio Revised Code. There will be no decisions being made during executive session, so we need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Jojo, all right?
Second.
Second. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. All right, we're in executive session.